Hi, welcome to this session on IPM 80 2023 form filling. This is for IIM Rohtak, and today in this session, I'm going to help you understand how to fill the form without making any mistakes. So I'll go step by step, helping you understand how you should be filling the IPM 80 2023 IIM Rohtak application form so that your form doesn't get rejected. Before we go ahead and start and understand how the form has to be filled, it is very important for you to understand that there are certain specific requirements which you must be ready with. So before you start filling the application form, you need to be ready with a scanned copy of your photograph and signature in JPG or JPEG format only. No other format will be accepted. And the size of the scanned copy for both photograph and signature should be less than 80 kilobytes. Similarly, you have to be ready with a scanned copy of your class 10th mark sheet. In case you have cleared your class 12th as well, you should be ready with your class 12th mark sheet, the scanned copy of it. But the mark sheets are required in PDF format, the size of which should be less than 150 KB. It is also important to note that the mark sheet should be self-attested, and it should also be attested by notary public. So in every city, you have notaries available who will attest it for you by taking some charge for it. But it is mandatory that you get your mark sheet attested by notary, and you have to attest it yourself as well. So self attest is also important. Now, other thing which is very important is while calculating your marks, you have to calculate considering best five. So even if you have appeared in the board examination with six papers, you should calculate and submit for the best five, basically best five subjects. So let's go ahead now. Once your documents are ready, we are ready to fill the application form. The first thing is to go to the IIM Rohtak website, which is iimrohtak.ac.in. So first you have to open the website of iimrohtak.ac.in, and then on the home page you'll see integrated program in management 5-year program. So this is where the course details, the application details are available. So you click on this link and then you'll come to this page where you have all the details about the IPM program by IIM Rohtak. So you can read about the program pedagogy, you can read about the admission details for 2023, how many people appeared, what were the cutoff last year. That summary is also provided to help you understand what happened in 2022. The curriculum is mentioned over here, how the IPM program is structured over the next 3 years, the first 3 years, which are also known as foundation years. The fee details about the program is available over here. And this is where you have to work on all the action as far as application form is concerned. So you'll click on this radio button, which is click here to apply. Once you click on this, it will open a new tab wherein you have to first register for yourself. So the first thing is not to log in, but first to register. And you can click on this link, which is given over here, register here. Once you click on this link to register, you will be required to submit certain personal details. You have to furnish your personal details. But before that, the screen will come with certain important instructions. They will display which version of the browser to use to have a better experience. And there are certain instructions given which must be followed while filling the application form. So once you register yourself, you will receive a user ID and a password. All will be in numericals on your email address, which you'll be providing, and as well as the mobile number which you have registered over here. Now, in future, you can log in using the credentials which has been given to you by IIM Rohtak, the user ID and the password. It is very important to note here that you should not make any mistakes in the application form, especially when it comes to name, your date of birth, mobile number, and email address, because that cannot be changed under any circumstances. Once you have submitted the form, nothing can be changed. But before you have made the final submission, you can edit some part of it, but you cannot edit name, date of birth, mobile number, and email address. So you have to be very, very careful about this. Then there is a privacy notice also which pops up on the screen. So this is about how the IIM Rohtak will intend to use the data made available. So you have to agree to the privacy notice. You have to click on this radio tab, which is I agree. And once you click on this radio tab, then this is where your all action starts. So you have to first register yourself for the IPMAT 2023. Now, during the registration, you will be required to furnish some personal details of yours, which includes name. Now, the name you will fill should be as per your class 10th certificate. Remember, the name you fill here should be as per your class 10th exam certificate. Then you have to fill in your date of birth. You'll click on this tab, select year, month, and date, and then submit it over there. You have to provide your email address, a valid email address, and you'll have to retype the email address to confirm it so that there are no mistakes. It should be matching. From the drop down, you'll have the option to select your nationality, whether Indian or outside India. So you'll be selecting Indian or outside India as the case may be. Then you have to select your country of residence. Similarly, the drop down will be available over here. India will be one option, the other option will be outside India. Then you'll be providing your valid mobile number, and you have to also confirm your mobile number. So for the registration, basic personal details, your name, date of birth, email ID, your nationality, your country of residence, and mobile number has to be provided. Now, once you have furnished this information, you should read all these important notes provided over here, which talks about how to calculate the percentage of marks, which I spoke about a little while earlier. You have to go for the best 5. In case you have been awarded marks in grades and not in percentage, then you must convert that into percentage, and you have to produce a certificate from your board or competent authority explaining the method of conversion, like what has been the multiplier or the conversion factor. So those students who are appearing for the board examination, they can also apply provided they fulfill the minimum eligibility criteria at a later stage, which is 60% for in class 10th and class 12th, for general, EWS, and non-creamy layer OBC category, and 55% for SC, ST, and PWD candidates. Then, once you have confirmed all this, you have to agree to the declaration, wherein you agree that you have read all the instructions and the admission procedure, and whatever information you are providing is true and correct to the best of your knowledge. And then you have to submit the captcha as it appears on the screen. So very simple registration process first, but that's the first step. Once you have completed the step 1 of the registration, you'll receive a user ID and a password on the registered mobile number and the registered email ID, the one which you had submitted. Now you can go ahead, log out, and come back later to complete the application process, or you can simply continue. So once the registration is complete, the page will show your application number, your date of birth, your name, your nationality, your mobile number, email ID. Now, this will be come preloaded over here because this information you have already provided during registration. Now, what you have to do is you have to click on the Go to Application tab, which is on the right top corner next to Logout button. So you click on Go to Application tab, and then your application window once again opens. Now here you have to furnish all the other personal details. So your application number will come pre-populated over here. Your name will come pre-populated. Same will be the case with date of birth. You have to fill your father's name, and this is a mandatory information. So you have to type your father's name over here. You have to type your mother's name over here. And then from the drop down, you have to select the gender. So there are three options available over here: male, female, and transgender. You have to select appropriately as the case may be. So you select your gender over here, and then you'll select your social category. So whether you belong to general category, which is unreserved, whether you belong to non-creamy layer of OBC, please remember, as far as OBC reservation is concerned, this is available only to the people having non-creamy layer OBC certificate. Similarly, scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, and economically weaker section. Accordingly, you'll be able to uh, take the benefit of the reservation. So, in case you are applying any under category like NCOBC, SC, ST, or EWS, you will also be required to furnish your certificate, the certificate of category certificate. From the drop down, the here nationality will come pre-populated over here. Next, you will submit, there'll be certain questions about disability details. So the question would be, are you physically handicapped? So you'll be selecting as the case may be, yes or no will be available in the drop down. So you'll select appropriately. If you belong to this category, then you'll have to select your type of disability. Remember, 40% minimum disability is to be there to claim the reservation, the PWD reservation over here. Then, from the exam perspective, the application form will also ask you certain details. Do you require a wheelchair support at the test center? This is done, this is asked to ensure that you are allotted a center which which has the facilities available, so that you are comfortable reaching the center, the examination hall, and taking the test. Also, if you require any scribe uh, in during the examination, so as the case may be, yes or no has to be checked over here in the checkbox, respective checkbox given. Then you are to submit your present address details, your address of communication. While in today's time, all the communication happens on the portal or through SMSs or through the emails, but still this is a mandatory requirement. So you have to submit your address detail, wherein you have to type your address over here. Then from the drop down, you have already selected India earlier, so they'll not so here the name will come displayed, your country. Then you have to select the state from the drop down, where whichever state you are residing in currently, you'll be selecting the state from the drop down. And once you have selected the state, in the district column, the in the district column, the district names will appear, and you'll be selecting the district in which you are residing right now. In case of the city within that district, you'll be typing that city, and then you have to type the pin code. Now, your correspondence address may be same as permanent address, or it may differ. So if it is the same, your permanent address is same as your correspondent address, then you will have to select yes to this question, wherein the application asks you, is permanent address same as correspondence address? Again, if it is same, then select yes. If it is different, then select no. If you select no, you'll have to type your permanent address details over here. If you have selected yes, then it will come pre-populated. It will be a copy paste of your present address detail. Otherwise, you'll have to type the same. Now, IIM Rohtak has also started a program, a 5-year integrated program in law, the admissions to which are based on CLAT score as well as IPMAT IIM Rohtak score. So, in case you are also interested, probably your backup plan is to take up law, and definitely considering IIM Rohtak, then you may apply through this form itself. So you can select yes over here if you would like to apply to the integrated program in law. Otherwise, you can select no. Once you have filled this part of the application form about your personal details, Then you'll click on this radio button which says save and next. So once you are sure that all your personal details have been filled correctly, then click on this button and move ahead to submit your or furnish your academic details. Now, academic details, you have to please understand, you have to consider best 5 of your subjects. So the first thing is to provide details about your class 10th examination results. So first thing first, you will be selecting the from the drop down the aggregate percentage of marks which you have secured in your class 10. So drop down will have all the numericals provided, 70, 71, 72 kind of, and then from the decimal places again you will have the options available. So you drop down, you will be selecting your aggregate marks percentage for the best 5 subjects. Then you, from the drop down, you'll select the name of the board, from which board, whether it's a state board, CBSE, ICSE, whatever the case may be. The boards are listed down here. You'll be selecting the appropriate board as in your case. Then you'll type the name of the school from where you completed your class 10th, standard 10th, or the equivalent. So you have to type the same, and you have to select the year of completion. यहाँ पे drop down से year of completion आप select करोगे. Then once you have done that, then you have to submit details about the 5 subjects, the best 5 subjects. So for every subject you have to provide detail, you have to provide the name of the subject, you have to provide the first you will be selecting marks, whether it is in marks, the result appeared as percentage marks, or result appeared as grade. So grade hoga, you'll have to come with the conversion factor. If it is percentage or in numericals, then you will select accordingly, and then against each subject you'll have to furnish maximum marks and the marks obtained. And finally, the total marks of the 5 subjects, the total maximum marks, in maximum cases, it would be 500 only. And this will automatically calculate your percentage of what you got in class 10. Now, the class 12th results would depend on whether you are appearing for the examination, appearing for the board exam in 2023, or whether you have already completed your class 12th, you have passed class 12th in the earlier year. Now, accordingly, you'll have to answer this question. Have you completed standard 12 HSC diploma or equivalent course? If you have completed, then you'll select yes. Then you'll have to furnish the details accordingly. If you are appearing for the board examination, you will select no, and whether it's a class 12th or equivalent or it's a diploma. So if you're pursuing a 3-year diploma after class 10th, which is recognized and considered equivalent to class 12th, then you can select, click on this checkbox. Otherwise, this will apply to you. In most cases, this will apply class 12th or equivalent. Now, once you have furnished this detail, the form will populate accordingly. So, agar if you have passed it in the earlier year, then you have to submit your details similar to what you did for class 10th. You have to select from the drop down percentage or grade, and accordingly you have to furnish the maximum marks for the subject and the marks obtained in the subject for the best 5 subjects over here. And you'll calculate the total here, and the maximum marks, total maximum marks, the percentage will be automatically calculated once you hit the tab button. If you are just appearing for the class 12th examination in 2023, nothing needs to be done. Once you have selected yes and 12th equivalent yes over here, you click on the button save and next, and you proceed to select your exam center, the city in which you would like to appear for the examination. Now here 3 preferences are to be provided. All 3 cannot be same. You have to provide 3 preferences over here from the list of cities where exam centers will be available. The list is given as drop down over here: preference city 1, preference city 2, preference city 3. For example, somebody stays in Faridabad. Now, obviously, the person must choose Faridabad as the first choice. Second could be Gurgaon, Delhi, or Noida. Similarly, third could be from among Gurgaon, Delhi, or Noida. So, ideally, you should strive for the city If that is available as a center, you should first pick that as a center so that you do not have to travel much, and then the next nearest location followed by the next nearest location. So three options are to be provided, each of them being mandatory, and they cannot be same. You cannot select, for example, Faridabad in all three. That option will not be available. So you have to select three different cities in which they can allot you examination centers. While due care is taken by the examination authorities to provide you the center, exam center, in the first preferred city itself, but in case there are insufficient number of candidates, they might shift you to your next preferred location. So three locations are to be provided for exam city. Once you have selected, click on save and next and move forward to upload your documents. Now the first step is to upload your passport, scanned copy of the passport size photograph and signature. To do so, you'll have to click on this radio button, and then the option will appear. Be specific about the sizes, less than 80 KB. That is the requirement of the scanned copy, and it can only be in JPG or JPEG format. Similarly, you'll have to upload your class 10th mark sheet over here. That should be self-attested and attested through a notary public as well in your city. You can get it done. And it should be in PDF format, the size of which should be less than 150 KB. Okay. Once you have uploaded your document, and it will prompt you whether you meet the specifications or not. And it will also prompt you to check and verify your documents which you have uploaded. Once you the documents have been accepted by the system, which means it meets all the specific requirements, the photograph, the scanned copies are clear, legible, and they meet the size requirements, then it will accept it. And here you'll see a green tick appear over here, which also gives you the option. The system will prompt you to check your photograph, signature, and your mark sheet before allowing you to proceed ahead. Now, once you have uploaded your documents over here, then you have to click on the declaration form, which is uh, about being careful and furnishing the information which is true to your knowledge, and your candidature is dependent on certain conditions. So all the specifics are mentioned over here. You have to click on this checkbox. Before that, you'll have to preview your form so that if you find any mistakes, there is still an opportunity to correct it. Once you have submitted, you cannot make any changes. If you have made the payment, then your form is completely submitted. If you have not made the payment, then probably you'll have to fill a new form if at all there is a mistake. So please ensure don't hit the submit button right away. First, take a preview of your form, rather take a printout of it and check carefully that all the information is correct. Otherwise, if you find any mistake out there, click on the back tab and go back and check where the mistake is and correct it before you make final submission. Once you click on I agree and submit the captcha, you submit, click on this submit button. Once you have carefully checked the application form and your application form is complete with all the correct details, then this application form will take you to the payment page where you can make payment using debit card, credit card, UPI, or you can even make RTGS or NFT mode, use of the NEFT mode. The amount will appear over here. You have to simply submit your mobile number. While these are optionals, you can select the appropriate option and finally make the payment. And this means your form has been submitted. So that's a simple process to fill the IIM Rohtak application form. Just ensure your documents are ready and you are not making any mistakes while filling the application form. Be careful, and it's a very simple process. Just be careful about that. So I hope now you'll be able to fill your application form very easily, and there should not be any mistakes out there. Thank you so much.